What's up everyone, it's Boris, new video, and now I'm going to react on the roundup 3 from Eurovision Clips rehearsal clips, basically the last part of semifinal 2, and my opinions about it, but not judgments. I don't judge which country has a better staging, I don't judge which country has a better act, because this is just a 30 seconds clips from rehearsal, so it's not perfect yet. Maybe in some cases it is, but you cannot really judge it from 30 seconds clips. You don't really know those other 3 minutes, which can completely change the picture of what you're gonna see in here. Anyway, I was criticizing staging a bit, or the stage itself, which is basically a half of a box with a circle outside of it, and it wouldn't be fair to criticize the stage. First of all, there are so many elements how you can use it. The stage, it's in default, like what I said, but that's just a default stage of stage. But there is another layer, which is you can completely rechange it, because everything in here can move, or basically all the LED screen panels can move. You have light elements all around. You have so many light elements actually all around, even behind the panels. You can move those panels back, sides, forward, in any other shape you really want, so you can completely rechange its shape. You can completely use it as your advantage. Whoever does it, I think, does better job, or just had a better perception of what the stage can really do, because I think in many cases it really helped, or I would say that in all of cases where delegation decided to move things a bit around, it works much better, or it looks better even from those clips. As well, you can really change the stage by putting something on it, use a prop or something, which also changes the monumental but flat kind of boxy stage which we have this year. It's basically a box with the circle. Anyway, it's not the problem of the stage, it's the problem of approach of the countries, because whenever you leave it in the default, it just looks awesomely flat with the artist on it. For some reason, I still not sure why is it. Is it because of the different curves, or it's just because it's really like a box? I have no idea. It just feels like it. So that's subjective, extremely subjective. You can have a completely different opinion. Anyway, let's talk about this one. Let's react. Alright guys, thank you that you're here, that you're interested, and just before a second I'm starting, I will ask you for subscriptions. Don't forget to discuss on this channel, and of course, if you're gonna like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let's start.
Hey, it's Clara.
Hey Clara.
It is day 3.
Well, it's very important that the delegations chose those 30 seconds. Okay, Cyprus. That sounds awesome. Like the studio version, but with some live elements. Yeah, that's great. You can break your broken heart. Okay, this looks great. Even though they use the flat screen as flat, but they use so many light layers that it doesn't feel like a wall. You can see that. Strips behind. Nice song. I like the song. I must say I like the song. I'm a drum and bass person. So look how he's gonna look with the arena, because again it looks empty, but they're cleverly using very close shots, and close up shots really help as well. And you know, it's very interesting. She needs to stay in the circle, that the screen behind her doesn't feel flat. Okay, Victor Vernikos from Greece. Okay, then creating the graphical depth, stretching the stage. But vocally, I'm not sure. But visually, it looks stunning. Vocally, I think there is a space to improve, just from this clip. Okay, Poland. This is a hit, kind of. It's very simple song, but it's very catchy. I understand why it has so many streams every single day. And actually, the stage doesn't really look terrible. I expected something tasteless, but it actually goes with the song. And they use graphical elements. They have a dance as Spain had, but it looked already much better than Israel. Very good job from the 30 seconds. Okay, Slovenia. This is a band. Yeah, obviously. And also they use the circle. Very smart way, because whoever stands just so close to the LED screen, it just doesn't really work the better way. And look, using this circle stage just looks better. Very clever. Okay, Georgia. Also, I think this would be better to be on, especially with such elements, to it's gonna look better on the circle stage, but as well. Anyway, they recreated the stage shape, so it looks different. It looks good. It looks very good with the all lights, and she sounds perfect. Come on, she sounds perfect. And this actually looks also good. Simple graphics, simple events. I really love how the back screens change their shape immediately, constantly. That's awesome. I must say, this looks great. Like, visually this is stunning. Visually this is great. Visually this is really good. Austria. Okay, this is not dynamic as I expected from the editing perspective, because graphically, visually, maybe even vocally, it's okay. But the editing, it doesn't really go with the song's flow. Albania. For them, with such graphics, would be as well great to use the circle part of the arena, because now they're like stuck on the wall. It's like they can touch it. Maybe even if they're a bit reshape it to circle, half circle position. But let's see the final product. But she's so far from everything. Okay, this is nice visuals, nice colors. But also, I would really rather have kind of work with the stage, not to have such flat. Okay, this is very probably. I don't know what was the idea, but remember Portugal from last year, but this song doesn't really have this atmosphere, so it didn't work for me from the clip. Okay, those guys are just awesome. Okay, there's a car there. They have elements to break the flatness. Okay, use a lot of close-ups, fast camera edits, fast camera movements. Okay, this song probably won't let you.
Today, but do make sure you come back tomorrow, because we're going to have rehearsals from the big five.
Yeah,
and
I can't wait.
Crazy. Do not forget to
another 6 to come, another reaction to come. But before I'm gonna finish this one, I want to tell you something about it. I will just take it backwards. So with the Australia, what is great with Australia, watch it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Edit every 3 seconds maximum. And it's not just the editing, it's that the shots are fast, the changes of atmosphere of the graphics of the stage, it's fast. You can see how many lights are moving right here, right now, but few seconds before it was red. Nothing was there like this. So this is gonna immerse you. It's gonna let you in, because something is happening all the time, but in the way you're focusing on the song, you're focusing on artist, but the stage and the cameras are moving in the direction of listening what the song is, how fast it is, how aggressive it is, how many changes it has. And that's, you can already read from those 30 seconds. And that then doesn't matter that they use the flat screen behind, because they completely covered in black, this part, so it visually looks much more spaceful. And also they use a lot of backlight, which is clever, and this should all the people do, all the countries do, that they use the backlight from behind those screens, so you don't feel it's a last wall of the stage. Do you feel that there's a huge space as well behind them? I think that would work as well for Czech Republic when they use this panel, the one panel in front, to really lit up from backwards to create more space for your brain, because then it looks flat. And as you see, this doesn't look flat, also because the graphics actually go infinitely backwards, so it creates the depth. The depth is very important for modern visuals nowadays, because you can create much bigger space, fake it basically. Okay, Lithuania, I expected something different, but also in this shot, especially in this shot, you can see that this stage is huge. It's huge. There are, I don't know, 10-15 meters from the back LED screen, from the wall, and it still looks like they are very close to it. That's because it's very huge and the graphics on it are flat. If they're using more depth, they will create more depth in graphics. It will look more stunning, and they as well can use some kind of pulsing or something to really bring the dynamics into the song, which is not that dynamic, but basically this didn't really attract me at all. And that's maybe as well because the camera shots are very slow in here, and also they don't like it doesn't really follow the rhythm of the song, which is always disrupting, or for me it's disrupting. Actually, this staging, I have nothing against it. Like visually, like the palette of colors used, that looks good. Nothing goes against anything. Everything is complementary. But on the other hand, using this wall as a flat screen and put yourself into box, I believe that could be done a bit better with using those panels which are interactive, which are greatly fast, to create another shapes. But maybe we just didn't see it in those 30 seconds. That's another thing, that this is not the final product. This is not even the final song. Austria, in my opinion, no judging, but for me, it's probably the biggest disappointment, in the way I expect much more dynamic experience, I would say, because the song is very dynamic, the song is very funny, the diction of the singer, it's very intense. Everything goes mostly almost like a dance song, but in the edits it's kind of slow. Okay, so this blinks, but this doesn't really do anything. Kind of, it just like I don't feel the tempo in here. Like maybe that's because of it's a combination of the flat screen in here. I'm talking about those 30 seconds. Yeah, but you have the flat screen. It doesn't really create the depth. Even they tried with the perspective, it doesn't really look like this from the camera angles. It looks flat. Also, maybe if they backlit it a bit and create the tempo beams, would work much better with their vocals. That could really go with their vocals, because this is the dominant part of the whole song. And also you can see that there are so many elements blinking, but nothing in the same tempo. I would say as well, vocally it wasn't perfect yet. There are maybe so many things happening on the stage, but in this goes with the beat. I don't see it. I must see the dominant beat to be dominantly be presented somewhere, and it's not. It's just happening, so you don't know which one is the one who follows the beat. This is my problem, and as well the camera shots are very, very slow in this very fast. And what is a huge surprise for me is San Marino. That just looks awesome. Let's watch it again. But Like, although they use the LED screen flat, but they use the elements which just go from like behind graphically, so it feels that there is much more space. And look how fast those panels really move. This is fascinating. I'm gonna recreate a concert. Very stunning graphics in the way how of the usage. Nothing very original, but this shot, this just looks like a concert you want to be at. It just looks amazing. This shot is amazing. Like, you see one graphical palette, one light. It's white basically. It's everywhere, but everywhere it's moving. And it follows the shot of the camera. It follows the vocal high tone the main singer has, and it's just how it should be done. Like, amazing work for whoever did it for San Marino. Great work already. It works from any kind of angle. It uses the best from what this stage can offer, I would say. And this is kind of clever. I would expect this song to be as well in the circle, but what they did, they recreated the stage. So actually, here are the elements of the stage of the big ones. You cannot see it because they're muted. What you see are the normal lights in here, or I don't know how those beams of light actually are called, but you can see the actual lights, and those LED screens are moved over, so they recreated the shape. So it's basically a different arena. Everything what doesn't have to be in this new stage basically created is not visible. It's not visible. It's not visible at all. So this fragment of this catwalk is not visible or barely visible. Everything you have to focus is this storyline, this cave basically, or what is it? Waterfall, fire waterfall, whatsoever. Anyway, I would say that it's a bit pity that it's not on this circle part, because that it even helped you to narrate such story even more, or even closer to this camera, because this kind of is disrupting. This circle, empty circle, is disrupting for me, but it's kind of okay. Slovenia, they cleverly used the circle to have a concert in here because they know the depth of this stage. If it's don't use correctly, it's a very shallow, and there's no reason for it. It's just the visual angles which completely mess up your brain. But you can see that if even they're staying here like 15-20 meters from the LED screen, it looks like it's like 5 meters from them, 2 meters from them, very close, because it's just ultra huge, which is not bad. It's good, it's variable, but I like the color palette they used as well, the color changes they used as well. They don't use the LEDs wall as the LED wall, but they use the other part of it as the light wall, which is, I think, much better than the LED elements in it. I'm surprised about Poland. Maybe it's kitsch, maybe it's old school, but for this song itself, it works. This works. Vocally, it works. However they done it, it's a huge improvement. She looks gorgeous. It's very simple. Fireworks everywhere. It's like moving yourself into the 90s, but for some reason in a modern way, that it doesn't really offend me anyhow. It looks good. Nothing to say yet. Here graphically, so let's say visually, this is stunning. Great palette of colors used. Great usage of the wall. They recreated the depth in the graphic, so it doesn't feel flat. They don't use the elements, so you don't really can say this is the wall, this is the way. But what I'm actually feel that the Greece must focus right now at, it's vocals only. But there's nothing I want to judge at all right now. Iceland in this 30-second clip shows the strategy of close-up shots, most likely big focus on Dia, Delia, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Good palette of graphical palette, this works, but she's very alone there, and there's no element to help her out, kind of, which is not bad, but also I would say it's slow camera shots in such a I already had to have 4, or fast camera, fast focus, fast movement, because the song is fast, the dance is fast. I want to feel at home as I'm dancing with her. I cannot do it if I don't see it. It's you have to tell me by picture. You have to story tell me this by picture. Even it sounds weird. It's how the brain works. And the Cyprus looks great. And actually, Cyprus probably is the only country where they let the stage how it is, but they use the elements, which works. They use the water. They has the powerful song, but they covered the half of the stage with the mist. They let the waterfalls flow. And what they did and why it's different from some countries which are using the wall as a wall is they backlit it. And backlit of the wall creates another layer of space, so that it means it's not just a wall, it's something more. It's huge, it's bigger, it's breathing, and they made it. But that are all my opinions, my maybe expertise, but it's very subjective. Also, it's the point of view. Every director has a differently, every country has a different approach for colors, for camera angles, for fast editing or whatsoever, but this is how I see it. And if you agree with it, you can agree or not. For this, here is a discussion. Of course, you can also give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and wait for my other and I think last video, last reaction for the Big Five and Ukraine. So see you there. Thank you for watching. Bye.